Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you all are doing great. I'm doing okay. Just going to give it a few seconds because something is going on with how I set up the videos to stream. And then we'll get started. Hope everyone's having a great week. I hope you had a great weekend. My weekend was pretty uneventful, but for the most part, I had a good time. Safe weekend, you know. So I'm just going to wait a little bit because I had to change the live stream. But in case no one shows up, we'll start in maybe like a minute and a half and we'll just go ahead and work from there. I have a lot of stuff that I've pulled out and gotten ready. Um, in that same breath, I have nothing prepared and nothing ready, if that makes any sense. So, first, I want to talk about some of the things that I think we should do and go forward and work on from there. So, we'll talk about the things that I have done first. And then we'll talk about gathering more materials and things like that. So I'm not sure how long, you know, anyone's been following the channel, but over time, I go through spurts of super creativity and then no creativity. I'm not sure if that's how you all. Good morning, Heather. Hope you're doing well. Not sure if that's how you all function. Sometimes, all of the crafty cylinders are firing and everything is amazing. Then other times it's not. So in those times, I need a new desk, a new workstation. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna switch out the desk. So in during that time, what I have done is a lot of stuff because at one point I wanted to do a lot of junk journals. Other times I did not know what I was doing, but we're here. So hopefully you had a great weekend, Heather, and your week is going great. So what we have is some coffee, and I don't know if it's Kool-Aid or just dyes. I use some dye um, ink, and these are coffee filters that I got from the Dollar Tree back in the day when it was $1. Yeah, crafty creativity can be a struggle sometimes. So I want to pull out. I went through some of this stuff and I pulled it out, and then I have some paper, just some plain copy paper that I have stained, and we'll be putting it in our junk journal. I only pulled out 3 pages of each, and I'll tell you why. Just need to move these out the way because they're gonna start to bug me. With junk journals, it's whatever you like to put in your journal. And I hate to call them junk because they're not really junk journals, but the things that you put in there, we could consider it quote unquote junk. So last week I told you that I like to use the composition notebook. So what I normally do is take this composition notebook and just trim it down. I'll trim it down and make it fit in the book. So if, for example, if I was to take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Let me just grab one that has nothing on it from the printer. If I was to take one and fold this over, this would be my quote unquote template, right? So whatever paper I'm using has to fit this shape. So you see, all this excess I would cut off. And I like to leave the white area there because when I was in school, you wrote your name, the date, and your subject in that little white margins in the margins, and then you put the title. So that, for example, if we were doing our journal, you can put, whatever's going on right there and it would be good. So we'll use this one as our template, but we have some white sheets of paper. And if you are a thrift store person, you can always get these, or you can wait till school starts and get them. I think they're getting ready to put, I saw some on clearance recently, probably the older models. Same thing, right? They put it on clearance and then they bump the price back up. And then this is when I was going through my jelly printing phase along with my spritzing of different sprays. So we'll do a quick flip through of those because I want 3. Let's go ahead and put this down, and we're going to do, we're going to get, I think 9, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want to have, full transparency. If you like the composition notebook that has college line, you have more space to write, then do that. So I pulled out 6 because we're going to have 3 of those sheets. Remember, I think I said last week we only have 10 pages in per signature, and we're doing 3 signatures. So this is leftover trash that you can definitely use in a junk journal, because if you fold it over or you run it through the printer, and we're going to talk about running paper that you already have stuff on through the printer in a few seconds. So this is paper that I just put in my box. I didn't buy the Tim Holtz box. I just used the box that I got from the store, and I put it in here. And this project was the thing that I was working on, and this is just the overcast, the spray off, the leftovers. Same thing with this. And so I am big into stenciling. I love stencils. I can't do it that great. As you can see, it's like really muddy. But I want to pull these out to show what you could be doing. So if you see this one, this has some flower petals, and this has like, I think, I always call them like Make-A-Wish. No, this is not those daisy flowers, the weeds. But if you can see the shimmer and shine on here, and if you rub your hand, like I have shimmer shine on my hand now because this Tattered Angels rubs off. So we got that. We have this. I don't know what I was doing. I had a great time doing it though. And this, you can see it has an anchor in here because this is an anchor stencil. Then it has just random stuff that I went a little bit bananas with. We won't be putting those in. So far we don't have any sheets to put in, but we'll put this one in because it's pinky, and we're doing the flowers in bloom one. So we have that. So we're gonna put that aside. And I really like this one. It's very chaotic, like nature in where I live. It's hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. I don't know. So we'll use that one, and then we'll put this to the side. And I like because it has the pink. Oh, but this one has the blue. So, yeah, we'll just slide this in too. Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today? Hopefully your day is going well. So this is another print that I did, and I really love it. It's really thick. It made this little cheapo paper really thick. And if you rub your fingers across, you can see it. It looks kind of ugly in the camera, but it's really not that ugly in person. It has like pinky. This is darker pink, and this is orangey. It's coming across very muted in the camera. So we won't put all of the things in there because then we'll run out of space. I like this, but we'll have to do that for another project. We can definitely use this in a project because junk journals sometimes can be a bit chaotic too, when you're putting things in. And I like this alpha print, but we'll see. We'll see. If you're working on jelly print or sprays and dyes and stuff like that, never throw anything away. I'm okay. How was your mom's dine out? How did that go? Did you have a good time? So this page is very empty, but it's subtle, so you can put a few things on here. We'll put that in there. I really like this page as well. And now you can see the print a little bit better. I like this one too because it's just overcast splatters of Tattered Angels spray. I'm going to put these dots in here because why not? It was nice. That's really nice to hear. That's really good. I'm glad she had a good time. And we're going to put these purple dots in here as well. So I did these over 2 years ago. I don't recall doing this last year at all. So it had to be in 2019 or 20. like I said, I go through spurts of creativity. Sometimes I'm like, yes, I'm very creative. Like I can guarantee this looks beautiful to me now, but when I did, I was like that's ugly. So I just kind of keep all of my ugly stuff, and then it starts to grow on me, and then I have projects to use in other things. This is one of those. What are you doing? So if you want to, you can cut this whole stencil out and this one out and use it. But I like to keep these solid and put in there. I think sometimes we, as you know, we said it last week, we're too hard on ourselves when we really shouldn't be. I like this one better. We'll keep that one. I have a different printer that I'm using. Um, so I don't know if I'll be able to run these through the printer today. Like this is very pretty. It's a soft blue on here. Yeah, don't throw it away. Just set it to the side. And if you still hate the project at the end, when you come back and look at it, then throw it in the trash. But most of the time, I've given myself some time to be a little bit less rough on myself, and I'm like, yes, this is great. So these are all stencil sprays, um, projects. I want to go a little bit faster. And like this, I didn't like this at first, but now this looks really cool because if you wanted to, you can flatten your paper, iron it out, or keep it wrinkled, whatever you want to do. And it looks like this could be in the ocean somewhere because this green is really light on camera, but it's dark. It's really dark in my view. Good morning, Nix. How are you doing today? Hopefully well. And so you see we have this as well. And then these are the more jelly prints. I have no idea how to jelly print for real, but looking back at this now, I love this. When I was doing it, I was like, what is this? And I had paper everywhere. I was baking paper, tanning paper, all kinds of random craziness. Um, the camera is not doing the vivaciousness of this paper any justice. You see that gold, and this is all acrylic paint that I used. And you can get acrylic paint fairly cheap. Now this is an ugly paper still, but it's pretty because if you wanted to, you can die cut this out, or you could do things to it. You can stamp silhouette pictures on here, and it would be amazing because this definitely looks like some type of forest. And right here, you can see it's like this blue. This looks like some water. It just looks very abstract to me. Very, very abstract. But this paper is definitely thicker. You see how I laid it on top and then realized I shouldn't have did that. And then, we just have tons and tons of work. Things that I've done definitely maybe 2 years ago, whenever I was into this whole phase. And now I have lots of paper that I don't even need to do this anymore. So for the jelly printing, I always worry because I always think that I'm doing it wrong. And it's no right or wrong way to do jelly printing. I need to stay in focus, I know. So even on the back, we could use this back piece for something. And I just want to show you like this. I think this is like one of my first pieces, and it's gold and I don't know another color. See, it's real shimmery, shiny, but it's just a plain sheet of paper with gold acrylic paint. So if you want to make your own backgrounds and stuff like that, you definitely could with that. And then just more spray pages. And this is a whole stencil setup. I like stencils a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. I don't know why, but I do. All right, so we're going to put this to the side. So I have a few iris boxes that I used to get when they would be like $3 at Michael's. And I keep a lot of my trash papers, scrap papers in the iris box. And when I need motivation, I just go and pull some of those out and work from there. So we're going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So one of one of our sheets will have to go back. And we'll just pull out one. We're not in love with any of them. Yeah, I think it's, it's, come on. There we go. I do apologize for all of my technical issues lately. Um, I think that, sometimes we're very hard on ourselves. So as you can see, these are all three different colors. This is very vibrant in the camera, and the other ones are dull. And that's like, I guess it's a good representation of them. Like they come together. I have to fix the focus, I guess. I don't know what's going on with this. I have to change my lighting angle. But we're going to use all three of these in our books. Then we have this. Now, what I did do, I went online, and these are all supposedly free images. I just typed in a Google search. I typed in flowers in bloom, and I put in the I'll just redo it real quick. In the in Google search or whichever search engine you use, I just typed in flowers in bloom, right? Flowers in bloom. I guess I didn't do it on my cell phone because I don't know how to do all that fancy camera switching. So let me just open up my search engine so you can see. Yeah, a lot of people throw their scraps away, but I don't. I personally think you could always use them. If it's a lot of scraps, yes, throw them away. But if it's not a lot of scraps, then, keep them for something, of value. All right, so here we go. And we're going to type in flowers in bloom. And when you do that, go images, and you'll get a bunch of pictures that you can select. So then I go to licenses, and I put free to modify, share, and use commercially. Commercially means that you can sell it, right? And then it comes up with more pictures, and then I go back to sizes and I select large. Large. The reason why I do large is because then I find the pictures that I want, and I always go for like a false flower or a flower that's been manipulated. Like these are all authentic. I think they're all authentic flowers, but I don't want them to be that vibrant because I'm printing them out on, regular paper. So I'll just go through, or you can type in watercolor flowers, whatever your thing is that you want to find. Right. So I'm going to take away in bloom and just type in flowers, not flower, flowers. All right. And all the settings should be the same, but we will just verify. Size, again, is large. And I'm still not finding the picture that I have. So anyway, we'll just say that we want this one, right? So then I'll just right click on it and save this image, and then I'll pull it up and print it off. So that's what I've done. You're like, why are you telling me that? Well, I want you to know that that's where these pictures come from. I don't have a specific search look for anything like that. So these are the pictures, and I printed out two because I was going to try and do a back and front one. And then I printed out this one because I thought this was really pretty. See, if you fold this over, now you have something you can write on here as well as a blank spot. Also, if you print them back to front like this, you have one solid image doing one thing and another image doing something completely different. So that is those images. I only printed off three because it wasn't working for me at first. You see, I had that tiny white line. I know a lot of people that make junk journals really, really are into making the images a little bit smaller so that they fit inside of the book that you're using. I don't really have a problem with cutting them down or leaving them the same size because We're using a cereal box, and we're gonna make the cereal box a special size. Yes, ma'am. I definitely am showing you a new way of paper hoarding. But you can throw it away. I just feel like you saw those sheets. It was like 50 sheets of paper. Like I would never throw those away. Because now we're gonna make junk journals, right? So we have three. We have these pieces right here. Then we have these, which we're gonna keep. We want one of those. And I always try to make sure that my papers are even. And even means that I'm gonna put one of each style in the signature. And we've already said that we're going to do 3 signatures. This is our template. We have these coffee filters and this. And, the title does say we're gathering our supplies. So we have all of this. And now we're going to talk about what I consider very, very important is the signature outside. So the signature outside for me is always a pretty hard cover, right? So let's just use it as an example. This is our signature, right? So we have our signature, and this is pretty plain. So I usually get pretty pictures or 3 pretty images or 3 pretty something, and using. So today we're gonna select our scrapbook paper as soon as I find it. I thought I had it already. I do. I have a few things that I have been setting at the desk because I want to go ahead and finish working on a few projects. So now, keeping in mind our already color scheme, this is something that we have to be mindful of. I am in love with this script Fonty print, and I probably will want to use that one, right? As well as the bird cage that I pulled out 2 weeks ago now. And I want to keep the bikes for another reason. This would be a good sheet. It's not a very pretty sheet of paper, to be quite honest. It's just a bunch of flowers that they just threw on here. And I'm assuming that they probably have you put a picture, because it's a scrapbook, a picture here and some writing, maybe. So we got one. We're going to just go ahead and pull this one out because I don't want to be stressing myself out too. And I like that script, but do I want to use it in what I'm working on? The answer is no. All right, so we'll use these guys right here. Now, keep in mind that our sheet of paper needs to be roughly 8.5 by 11. So we're going to make this a little bit larger because it is going to be our cover, right? So we can probably do 8 3/4 by 11 1/4 if we wanted to, or we could keep it the same size. The one thing that I struggle with, and people always will say, oh, the paper's hanging out of the signature. You really don't want the paper to hang out the signature, so I would recommend your signature piece be larger. And we're going to start with the one that's simple print. What we're going to do, once you gather all your materials, everything else should be fairly simple. So I am going to cut this piece. The reason why I'm cutting off these pieces is because it's 12 inches. Our paper's going to fold like this, and we don't want a bunch of that on here. Okay, so now our paper is measuring roughly 11.5 inches. Okay, so we're just going to cut this off as well, and I'm eyeballing it. I am not um I am not by any means measuring it approximate. Okay, so now this is a little bit off, and that's okay. All right, that is okay. So I'm gonna do right here. And I just cut it off to 11 1/4. All right. So we have our situation going on. We can look at our papers and see. So this is a 8.5 by 11, and now we have 11, and now we're just going to cut this piece off to right here. And yes, I know I cut it like, I want to get rid of that pink. 8.5. I did not cut it the proper way. I cut it this way on purpose. And that's okay. If you want to keep it symmetrical, if you want to keep your paper symmetrical, you know, the flowers being the right way, go ahead and do it. It's okay. If you don't, then, you know, it's going to be your own quirkiness. I did it on purpose because this outside is not important. As important as, you know, we make them out to be. So now we got our first cover piece. I've lost the template already, of course, because that seems to be my plot in life. Plot in life, not plot. So you see how when we put this signature inside of here, excuse me, that sheet inside of here, now you have it easy peasy, right? Versus this way. And the reason why, because I'm going to cover that up, and I really dislike covering up a lot of prettiness. And even though this is a bunch of sporadic flowers, it's still cute. It's not that cute, but it's cute, right? All right, so now we're going to work on our cover. Now, this is the one that I'm torn on because the bird cage is on the opposite side of where I would actually like for it to be. So we're going to go 11 1/4. Just chop it off. And now we're going to do 8.5, 8 3/4. And chop that off. Right? And then we just fold this over. Unfortunately, the bird is on the wrong side. I'm not sure what right-handed person decided to do that nonsense, but it is what it is. And so now we have this opposite page. And there's no way of getting around that this page is on the other side. So this is going to be our middle piece, because as you're looking through and you turn over there and you see our next page, you're like, oh, that's really pretty. The only thing we have to worry about is, oh, so beautiful, we'll have to cover this up with something. Definitely a right-handed person that did that, not a lefty. A lefty would have never put it on that side in the first place, but definitely been on the other side. Definitely. Because that's just how we're hardwired. Now this is not important either, because it's just a big white spot that normally you would put a picture or something like that in there. So I'm going to try to trim this down a little bit. So I'm taking it to the 8.5, excuse me, the 11 spot first. No. Yeah. So we got this cut off. Remember, this is the page that we'll see first. So we kind of want to keep these edges and things on there. And I'm just going to trim this down, because usually no one's really paying attention to the back of the pages unless you make them look at it. I do think our signatures are all off, and I'm okay with that. I think. If not, we'll go back and fix it. You know, I'm the queen of making scraps, and apparently Samara is going to be the queen of hoarding scraps because of me, and I am okay with that. 8.5. You see how much we have to chop off? If we were to do 8.5, we chop this whole little bird off. We don't want to chop all of this stuff off. We want to chop the bottom off, unfortunately, because this bird is really cute too, though. So now what we're going to do is attempt. We're going to attempt to cut this off and attempt to cut this top part off and work from there. I hope everyone's having a great day. I would love some apple juice right now. Like, I think that's what my body is like, saying, hey, we need apple juice. Let's get apple juice, apple juice, apple juice. I don't have any apple juice. Okay, so now let's see. We're going to cut up, cut down. I'm going to cut another sliver down. I'm trying to salvage as much as possible on that little bottom piece. It's not working the way I want it to work, though. That's why a lot of junk journal people, they tend to buy kits off of Etsy. I would not mind buying kits from Etsy. I purchased a kit recently. I haven't did a thing with it. Not one thing with it. I spoke to one of my friends and she was like, yes, it's a good deal, blah, blah, blah. Nothing's been made from it. And I keep getting emails saying, hey, you get a discount for the next kit. Because I'm not a junk journaler like I really think I want to be. So now we're going to just use this. Unfortunately, I don't have my other piece readily available. And the reason why I say unfortunately, because this is a scraper, so it could be rough. Oh my goodness. Are you? Well, I want some. When I finish here, I'm going to go get some. I watched someone stream the other day and they only did an hour. Am I streaming too long? Should I only be doing an hour? I mean, I guess I could do an hour and be done, right? I always think just 2 hours is a good round number. I used to want to do 3, but I realized that I don't have enough mental content for 3 hours. All right, so we got these 3 signatures. And I'm just using a side because I don't want to scrape it. I don't want to scrape it. All right, so we got 3. Now this does count as part of our signature, so just keep that in mind. And I think this looks lovely. If I were working upside down, this would be great, but since we're doing right side up. Okay, thank you. Now I want to tell y'all something. You can reinforce your spine with a little bit of glue so it can kind of bind this together, or a strip of washi tape, or regular tape, or some kind of funky reinforcing. Because you see, remember I told you that these could be cracking. So if you want to take a little bit of glue, a small amount, and just rub it down that spine and rub it down this spine as well. I usually tend to laminate these sometimes because, she's weird. But today we're not doing that. We're just doing basic stuff, and all the things that we're using so far, you should have on hand as a paper crafter. So you got your 3 covers for your signature. Now these count as pages, so keep that in mind. So now here comes the hard, fun part. We're going to pull out our 2 sheets for each signature. Let's cut these down real quick though. We should be able to cut this together as one unit. If not, we'll have to just cut them down smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way, give myself some room to work. What is that? Are those green and yellow, or do they have green and yellow packaging? I think I have in the past. So I'm just going to burnish this down a little bit. We won't do the sewing today, even if we finish up the journal signatures. We'll do the sewing on Friday. All right, so we got 1. I just counted these earlier. I should have paid 1, 2, 6. Okay, yeah, so 6. I want to tell y'all this story. I always have a story. I always have a story. All right, so we got this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to nick it. Not Nick's Crafty Corner, nick it. Um, Nick, not Nick's. I'm just gonna slide. I'm gonna slide this back a little bit off. See, it's off the paper. Hello, Kathy. How are you today? Hopefully well. And I'm gonna slide this down a small amount so it's hanging off just a little bit. There we go. Now we're gonna cut because I like for the lined paper to be the way you normally write, not the opposite. But you can put your line paper however you want. You can use whatever you want. People use receipts, all kinds of stuff. We're just making a basic junk journal. Here we go. And here we go. Of course, they don't have to be that neat. You could ink up your edges. You could die cut. You can do anything you want with your papers. They're your papers. So we're going to go ahead and pull these out. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. The one thing I don't do, though, whenever I am going to make my signature, I don't put the lined paper together. I always make it a habit to have other things inside of there. I'm intrigued, Nix. Now I need to see what you all are talking about. I need to see. I'll go check them out later. So we got our covers, our lined paper, and now the fun stuff, right? 1, 2. I don't want to go more than 10 sheets of paper. 3. So right now we're at 4 sheets, and we're going to fold these. I want to fold this one in. So by me folding this one, oh my goodness, I'm gonna fold it out. When I fold them into themselves, that usually means that they're the center page. Just so you can see all the beauty on both sides very easily. So thank you. These I got offline. I just typed in flowers, and looked at the images that I liked. I changed the size to be large, and then I just made them very words don't want to come out of my face today. I made them an image. They were already images. I just saved them as an image to print the whole entire sheet because my computer only wants to print this much, but I want everything. So we're going to make this the centerpiece, and we're going to put it with this because it just looks like they were meant to be together. Some things are meant to be, and then others, not always, right? Okay, so we're working with 4 sheets now. We're going to now pull out our funky paper. So we got 1, 2. We're going to use 2. We're going to use 2 of those. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should be at 4, 5, 6 pages. 7, 8. No, 7. 7, 8. 9. Even though these don't really count as anything, it still adds a little bit a bit of bulk 2 there, and then this will be our 10. I think that'll work out, yeah. This side, I feel like I've neglected the color in there, so we're just going to go ahead and see the color. And then we're going to work on things to go inside the signature. I do like to fold all of my pages individually versus just folding over a big clump, because I feel like I don't get a good crease. And again, we're trying not to have a lot of bulk, but we want volume. So we don't want, when you take a sheet of papers and fold them over, usually the only thing that gets a good crease is the outside and maybe the middle piece, and the other pieces kind of fold into whatever you are folding. So that's what I always keep in mind. I did have to learn that the hard way, because like I said before, I have some journals. I'll show those on Friday. A few of the junk journals that I still have. I still have my very first one. I usually keep the very first thing I ever try to make that I'm afraid to do, and then I'll go back and work on it. Not always though. So this I stained. I want to say it was not Kool-Aid or anything like that. I can't smell it. I think it was just some type of dye or ink that I used and stained it and just let it sit in the water a little bit and pulled it out and then put it in the oven. You don't have to put them in the oven. They will dry however they want to dry. But I like to put 2 or 3 sheets on top of one and put it in the oven, because the paper saturation of the other pages on top give your paper a different look. So you can see, like right here, you have this, and then you have that, and you can see where it's darker, because this was a sheet of paper that was laying on top of it. The same thing on the back. I don't iron my paper. If you want to know someone that is like the avocado queen of staining, Wonderbar Crafts, Denise Wonderbar Crafts. Not sure she has anything on her Etsy shop, but she has a lot of beautifully stained paper. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I know her better than the other people. So she has great papers that you can get. Go to her Etsy shop, support her if you like. Look around, go to her YouTube page, see what she has. I really like this page. It's plain and simple, so we'll jazz it up a little bit. And I do want to put, so I'm going to have to take some sheets out. I do want to put 2 plain sheets of paper in here, just plain color sheets of paper, and we'll make this the centerpiece. It's nothing special, but we can make it special. That's how you should treat all your paper, Samara. Like, each sheet has a purpose, not the trash. The trash is not the purpose of throwing your papers in the trash. And we'll fold this one on itself as well. I think the more pages you get, the more careful you have to be when you are going to make your journal. Okay, so we have these pages. Now let's talk about, I'll fold the other ones off camera. Let's talk about what you normally would put in a junk journal, right? What's the purpose of a journal? In general, is to write notes, memories, things that make you happy, document important stuff that's in journal form, right? So a junk journal to me is a fancy diary. And I stopped keeping those because people would go in there. Yes, each sheet of paper is a special sheet of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out, at least I think so. I don't know. If you don't like your paper, then that's fine. You don't have to, treat them all special, but I do, right? Okay. So you see how it's kind of bland and boring, and then you get pops of random color. You want to keep that in mind. I don't want to make this journal be too crazy. This is a basic journal, a simple journal, things that you can actually write notes and things like that in. But we do need some more color, because these 2 sheets is just it. We're going to make this our centerpiece. Okay, and then I usually have lined paper right before the center. This is going to be our first page after you open it up, so that goes to the side. And now what I think I'm going to do is turn this back out like that. Put this in here. So you see how I don't like to do this. I don't like to have the same type of design in the junk journal, so I'm going to take that out. And this kind of goes with that, even though I think this is upside down. You know what? I agree with Nyx wholeheartedly. You have my support if you want to ever run for paper candidate. I will definitely support that. So you see how the paper was going very well until we've added, what is this, 5 sheets? 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th sheet of paper, it starts to come out some. So you got to be mindful of that. This paper is probably smaller because we shrunk it. We wet it, dried it, so it's a little bit shorter, and that's okay. All these are plain sheets of paper besides our scrapbook paper on our side. Nothing too fancy. We're going to put our lined paper here. Then we're going to put this little... Why are we putting this in here? I don't know. I just think it adds character. If you have some doilies, get them out. All right, so now we're going to put this here. And as you can see, our signature is starting to come out. This is why I like to fold all of my sheets individually. And I don't want to put too many. We're going to put this on the outside. Now, I want to tell you something. I made these sheets of paper a long, long time ago. A long time ago. So the fact that they match just means that my color palette really hasn't changed. Like the colors that I use has not changed. Thank you, Samara. At all. I still like blues and greens. Here we go. So you see how the reason why we cut our paper a little bit longer is because this sheet of paper, these sheets of paper are coming out. And that's okay for a beginner journal. If you're concerned about it, then we can take one out. So 1, 2, take this one out. 3, excuse me. 4, 5, take this one out. 6, 7. So now we have 7 sheets in our signature. I personally don't like taking the sheets out. I prefer to keep them in. So what I'm going to do is just verify that my creasing was proper. And it was, okay. Never doubt your creases. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to take out this coffee stain one on this signature. We'll put the coffee stain in another signature since we have this one, this coffee stain. Because I don't want to take away from our uniqueness of the journal, right? All right, so now that we have our signature semi-complete, for now, we're going to work on a few more things. Do we want to put this back in? Let's see. I do want to put that back in. Okay, right here. All right, so we got this. And let's see. Now I'm just going to take, I do recommend a real bone folder creaser. And this does the job on this side. So it's not like it's not a real one. Please, I don't want anyone saying Cricut is real. I know. I'm just going to burnish this down just like that. Because we want our creases to be creased. We don't want to play around with our creases. All right. So now that we got this, I won't do the other ones on camera unless you all want to see that, because we'll sew them on, what day is that, Friday? Now, this is where you have to decide on whether or not you want to do all this work now or later, okay? All right. So I pulled out a few things. I want to talk about them. For me, this book, these sheets that come out, the adult coloring book that you get from the $1.25. Thank you so much. The $1.25 tree or whatever. I didn't get this from there. I got this from somewhere else. I would normally pull a sheet of paper out, and we will in another signature card. Pull this sheet out because you all know that I'm into coloring a lot. So I would find a picture that I'm okay with parting with or making a copy of and sharing it with a friend. Or if you're going to make these, like perfect your junk journal technique and sell them, go right ahead. Because there's so many people out there that know how to make junk journals but would prefer not to. So we're going to use this as our sample sheet. So we're going to put this to the side because now it's time to do the real work. The real work is making your journal pretty. I do recommend thinking about what you're going to do before you sew everything together. Once you sew your stuff in, you can't do nothing else. Good morning, Lisa. Hopefully you're doing well today. You can't do anything else, right? You can't, I mean, you could take the stitches back out, but who wants to do that? So what I mean is if you decide that your journal is all wrong, I always like to go through my journal ahead of time. I like to flip through the pages before I secure it, like before I commit. I told y'all I had commitment issues with craft projects, so I didn't crease that properly, but that's okay. And my hands have a little bit of ink on them, so that's something to keep in mind. Would recommend running this if you have a copy front and back, or putting this page on here. So put this paper in since it's single sided, and copy this on the back. So when you copy your paper, the person has a little bit more than a blank sheet of paper. Or you can put some lines. I went on and made lines in Microsoft Word and just ran it through. Also, what you could do is run this whole sheet of paper through again with just the lines, and the printer will print the lines. That's a waste of ink. So you want to try to do all of that at one time versus separate, but it's whatever you are more comfortable with. And as you go along, you will start to become more comfortable with everything that you do. Um, okay, so we have our creases, and people can take these out and color them. Or if you're a doodler, say you have your journal at work and you're just doodling along, you can just doodle these in. And since we're doing flowers and bloom, flowers and wings, I think is what we said. I can't remember what we said. This would be, oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. We're going to put this to the side. So now I want to talk to you about the things that we're going to put in this journal, okay? So first thing, if you thrift like I do, I usually get cards that are in a big package, and I like to use those. These are not those cards. These cards actually came from Bo Bunny. You can get these from craft stores or whatever. And I like these because you see how they have all these embellishments. I don't have the embellishments, but you could definitely do something with them. I didn't see this one right here. But if you have a stamp or a die, no worries, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this and how we're going to make this work. I like script and see these flowers. If you wanted to, you could definitely put these in your journal as a regular card and they can write. No big deal. I tend to do the opposite of that. I want them to be able to do other things. So since we're still in the gathering, um, since we're in the gathering phase of what we're doing, right? We're our signature's done basically. Now what goes in the book? What goes in the book? So we're gonna get our butterflies out. I love thrift stores too. The thrift stores where I live are not the great. And if I find something that's amazing, I'm like super shocked. I pulled this situation out as well. Remember those days? Wow. Anyway, you can get this from Joann Fabric for the same price. So keep that in mind. Don't just think that Tuesday morning went up on their prices or whatever. You can always find this price at the big box store with a coupon. So keep that in mind. I'm not a big Apple person, as some of you may know. Um, but anyway, this one side, I've used this one apparently. Uh, I've used a lot of them. Anyway, we can use this out of there. We can use cute, these leaves, things like that. So keep that in mind when you're pulling out when you're gathering your materials. Hopefully you've gathered most of your materials by now. And yeah, some places don't have good thrift stores. And I pulled this out my mind's eye because you see all these little flower pieces. It's a lot of random stuff that you could use in your journals. And that's the beauty of making your journals. We have a house, we have this flower, we have all kinds of stuff, and we haven't even talked about the cover yet. So we'll talk about the cover on Friday. But I don't want to do any die cutting, but I did get the dies out so you can see where my mind was. I have another project that I need to work on. This die right here, this is from Crafts, bringing crafts to you. I don't know where I got these from, online somewhere. This is not a big box. This is not unbranded dye. I bought this from maybe overseas. I don't remember because they wouldn't give you all this in an unbranded. Anyway, so you see this right here will fit our signature perfectly. Perfectly. I had a ruler on my desk. I moved it because my life is so organized. But you die cut this on one of these sheets of paper. You put this in. She's in Florida. I won't say anymore. I don't want nobody saying you don't like Florida. You put this in your die. You figure out what side you want it to go on. I do recommend making this up vertical, so a portrait. So you can't use these scripts, but you can use another sheet. If you want to use this whole sheet like this, you could. Or you could use this side. Or we have other paper, so you can use that, and then you can use these as little tuck spots. You can make this a definitely a tuck spot and put this on the side with that. And we'll do that. I'll cut these out and share with you on Friday. We also have these. So these are very insignificant in general, but they make a big impact on your crafts when you cut them out and use dies. I also pulled this die out because I thought this would be really cool for us to use. And I can use this in my Gemini Mini, I believe. This size. If not, I can go down one size smaller. So get your get your get your layering dies out if you have them. And then I got these two right here. Because I like stamps. So we would probably use this middle one to cut out a butterfly, cut out a sheet of paper, and then put our butterfly on top of it. Just like that. And these blue one and green one will go great. I'm not sure about these black ones. So I did pull out all that because we're gathering material for that. And then I got these flowers because we're going to do something on the front. And then I'm not sure if you all saw these when they had these at Tuesday morning. They may still have some. The Tuesday morning near me, they don't have a whole bunch of craft stuff right now. But these little, what are they called? Paper Craft Shapes is, I think is what it's called, vintage. And this is going to work well with our project. So you have that. And these things you don't have to you don't have to decorate with them. You give these things to your friends in the signatures, right? So we got this to the side. And then these are the tags that I told you about. And I won't be die cutting any tags out with you. We're going to make our tags today in a few seconds. And then I just have these right here because he had these flowers. And if you want to change it and make it kind of girly, which we won't, we're going to keep it flower based. So we got 4 flowers to play with and maybe this perfume bottle. It's a pretty decent sized perfume bottle. And then I love these. I got these half off. I would never pay full price. Good morning, Velez. Yes, it's hit or miss. Um, so we're gonna use a few of these. Gonna pull out. I meant to pull out 2, but another one jumped out. Now the thing I'll tell you, each signature should not be the same. Each signature should be totally different. And I pulled out these shiny Martha Stewart dollies as well. I think the fun in junk journaling is, of course, gathering your material and then just working from there. Working from there. So we got this. Is it only one? I have to be careful because the last time I made something, I had 50 dollies and it was just, this is a thick one. You know, Martha is, she fancy. She's expensive. So we're going to do that. Where is our flower from the last time? We got this. And we're going to talk about this cover. Now, I want my cover because it's so plain, right? These are plain covers. I want them to say something. I want them to do something. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to have to do this portion once we have our signature in. Um, just because I feel more comfortable with the signature in, I don't want to have to worry about the line. But I'm going to show you how to make one really quickly. If you want to savor some of your paper, fold your doily in half and cut it down the middle. Or if you really don't care about how the size looks, then just cut it. You don't have to be precise and chinchy with your materials, right? So now you have this. I'm just checking. I have a bag of doilies that I've been trying to keep everything together so we can have all our junk. You want all your junk together. I don't see them right now. I'm just gonna pull out something real quick. So whenever you get a 12 by 12 paper pad, they usually have cut aparts in them. And when they have cut aparts, that is for you to cut them apart and utilize them. We're going to use Hello Spring, I think. Yeah, Hello Spring. I can't cut straight lines, so we're not going to take any chances. So listen. I don't want to count them out just yet because I don't have it on good authority either. So I the Tuesday morning that's a little bit farther away from me. Usually they're a larger store. They usually have more stuff. And lately I haven't been going to Tuesday morning to look at craft stuff. I've been going to get not lately, before January. So in January and February, before I got really sick, I I put the paper trimmer back. That's not good for us. I went to the Tuesday morning that is farther away from me, and the first manager that I ever met that treated me really kind of like, why are you asking for craft stuff? And then he realized that I was, a craft fanatic. He had left And I guess they asked him to come back because the store had went to hell. It was just going downhill quickly, very, very quickly. Very quickly. They went through like 3 or 4 managers last year. So, the pandemic, and then I don't know what happened. Anyway, I went back and I was like, "Oh, you're back." I didn't ask him, had he quit, had he been anywhere, had he been. He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, that's cool." And I was like, yeah. I don't even waste my time going to Tuesday morning anymore. I just go look in the closet and grab something. I don't really need to go. I don't need any crafts. I always, unless it's stamps or paper, right? Those are my two weaknesses. Um, but he said the reason why a lot of the Tuesday mornings don't have anything is because they haven't been getting deals. And like how we like to find stuff. He said they were actually having to go back and price it, and so crafts had too many tiny things. And I guess the stores complained about that, so they stopped. I don't know how true that is, because I know I had talked to another person at another Tuesday morning, and she said that's because it wasn't any good craft deals. So I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna do. What is this, our first signature? Let's see. Yeah, no. All right. So that is not the first signature. The first signature is the other one. This is the first signature. So we can't fiddle around with that other page. We're going to have to put something right here. Too much. Ooh, bird cage. So, yeah, I don't know if that was true or not. We're going to put this on the inside right here. And we're going to make this a pocket. So we can make this a pocket easily because our sewing line is farther away. So we're just going to put this here like that. But I really like this. I want to go with this because I want to put this flower. We made these. When you make a flower this thick, we need to showcase that flower. All right, so we're going to do that. And this. I normally don't fiddle around with folding this down unless I'm giving a project to someone that this has to be folded over. I'm not keeping this junk journal either, so. But I think that these lines in the back look kind of creepy. They don't look that great. And then I don't want to put it in like this, so we'll just leave the tab up, out, and like this. What are you doing? Keep up with your signatures. All right, so we got our signature, yeah. This is the first signature. So now what we do before we even go any further, we need to decide what we're going to put on the front of here. And I think we need a font, a script, a writing, some words. I don't have any words right now, but we can figure that out. And so we're going to put this on our cereal box cover. So when they open the book, it'll have this, and then this will be there. Okay. So we'll do that on Friday. Okay. If you all have any words that you think will go there, bloom where you're planted, something like that, just write them, email me, text them, write them right now. I have been really enjoying just not die cutting and not finding stickers and just going on a machine, on a computer, and printing it and cutting it. If I can find a good sticker, I will, but if not, you know, I'll use a suggestion if you have one. If not, I guess I'll have to fussy cut or die cut something, which I really don't want to do. So maybe you'll save me. All right. Right. And we also have some things I previously die cut. And let's see. I like that a lot better. What do you think? You like I like this like that with Welcome Spring. If we're all in agreement, all I need is a Y or a N because I want to go ahead and glue that down. So let me know what you think. I know. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. All right. So we're going to poke this hole out. This one little spot. This is double-sided paper. And I am gluing my hand because I want to be a part of the junk journal. Right. And next, I saw my Xyron machine today and I didn't bring it with me. I was like, oh, I could be using that more often. But nope. So I'm just, good morning. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know what's going on with YouTube and me, Kelly, but apparently we're not in agreement about my channel at all. At all. All right, so just gonna rub that in. And now use this glue. For those people that make junk journals, how long does it normally take you to make a junk journal? I guess from start to finish, like scratch, not having a lot of your pieces cut out or anything like that. So I'm just gonna burnish this down some. And 6 years, well, Heather, that's why we're making this junk journal, so you can get a little bit of momentum and go ahead and make it. 6 years is a long time. A single signature in 3 to 4 hours. Okay. Because I'm going really slow here. All right, so now I'm going to use these. I'm going to use a little sticker. Actually, I'm going to use this page. Okay. Now, what I forgot to bring, I usually like to use index cards and put them in here, but I forgot. So remember last week we cut our strips. We cut our strips. So we're going to go ahead and make these really quick. Yes, see, no, we have a semi theme, right? We have a semi thought on what we're doing, but not really. I'm gonna cut these in half. I think these were 8.5 last week. Is that what we said they were? Or 6? I don't recall. But we're chugging along nonetheless. So 4 1/4. we will get there. I do, you know, I don't make junk journals as often as I think I should be making them because I buy a lot of junk journal material and then don't use it. And it just ends up collecting dust and being in the way. So, with all the craft stores raising their prices, I've been forced to use my materials that I have, except for when I find out that someone has been a sale or a clearance, and then I'm in line trying to buy junk. All right. So, we have our little signature pocket thing, and we're going to put some stuff in there. But first, we're going to make, like I promised last week, I'm just going to slide this out. I think I can't make it today. But I think I'm going to try and make a video, like a junk journal prep video. Although it's plenty prep videos out there. You can just Google them and find out who has made one and see what they give you. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I watched someone's video yesterday about a challenge with using your own stuff, I think. I can't be too sure. I want to say it's a fact. I want to say that statement is factual, that I did actually watch a video or two, but it could have been a day ago because I'm trying to catch up on all the collaboration videos that I missed last month. So that's where we are today. Now, if you've ever made your own tag or you see me talk about tags, then you know what I'm about to say. Oh, these would be good, but this doesn't match our color scheme, which we don't really have a true color scheme, but we're working with something. What I recommend, I learned this from someone. This is not my own brainchild. I would have never been this clever. Is use a tag already and make a copy from that, right? So we're going to go from start to finish though. What you want to do is just take something, eyeball your triangle. Now you have it, right? You take your original card. Make sure it's all even. Cut. Turn it over. I don't know what lady showed me this, the genius that she is. But yeah, not my own idea. And there you go. Tags. If you have a hole puncher, you can punch your hole in the center. I don't like to do that too often because I'm never centered when it comes to that. I would probably have to just make some tags and copy those like that. So here we go. If you have a paper rounder, corner rounder, you can just do the corner rounding. If you have paper chumping or whatever, you can definitely chump those corners if you like. So the story is, I went to Walmart Saturday, looking for an umbrella for my son's school project, right? And they didn't have an umbrella, even though I went online and it said, oh yeah, they have these umbrellas. False advertisement on the internet. So they had some foam. They had foam. Now Walmart is doing this very clever thing, and they've taken out all the price checkers. I'm just going to ink up all the edges. And they want us to download their app and use the app to check the price. Well, I checked the price and some foam came up 97 cents. Right? I take it to the register. I said, yes, you guys don't have your price checks up anymore. They said, oh no, we want you to use the app. I said, yes, I know I use the app, but this ring up 97 cents. And she scans it and it's $1.72. I said, you don't have to worry about it, because we had just stood in line ahead of them because there was this lady that wrote a check for a gift card and some other stuff. And you can't write checks for gift cards, which kind of sucked. I felt like the cashier should have told her that at the very beginning, but she didn't. So the lady ended up writing another check. I only have one check left in my checkbook. That would have been Personally, right now I only have one check in my checkbook. With the checkbook I have, I would have been very, very upset. So, she rewrites the check, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And I said, no, don't worry about it. I don't want these ladies standing in line, because the ladies behind me was like, why does this always happen to us every time we go somewhere? And I was like, I am not trying to fight you, ma'am. It's it's an okay day. And so I I said, I'll go to customer service. So I go to customer service and I say, yes, I used your app and this is what it says. Do you know the young lady? She was fairly nice. She says, if you want it for the price that is ringing up on the Walmart app, you have to order it online and pick it up. So I say, I'm already here, but you're saying if I want it for that price, I have to order it online and then come back and get it. And she says, oh yeah, I just, I try not to rabble rouse, right? Because I usually tell people I'm retired and I don't work, I'm not going anywhere. But they were, yeah. People where I live are not very nice all the time. I rarely have like amazing shopping experiences that I can come back and tell you about. So the lady behind, the cashier is like, if you want it for that price, you have, see, now you have tags. No one will ever know that we made these from some cream colored cardstock. Um, and we're going to just do these and then we'll be done with this stream for today. Uh, Now the problem that I have with this desk is that it shakes. So I can't shake it. I can't rub too much. But I would definitely want to use maybe these bees, this little postcard, because I'm into those kind of things on here. Um, to do that. So if you have those, pull them out and use them. But we're going to use these little stickers that we have, and I pulled out a few of them. So we're going to use this flower. Now, mind you, these tags can be used for whatever the person wants to use them for, but I like to think that they take the tag out and write a little note on them. So I like to give them some type of space to write on, and this is why I like to use the index cards, the different color index cards you can use, and make a tag with lines. They have large ones as well as small ones. So we're going to put 2 stickers on each one and then just move on from there. So she says, yes, if you want it for that price, you have to go online and get it. And I'm like, why? Right? I don't get it. So yesterday I had to find, I didn't, needless to say, they didn't have the umbrella and I didn't really get all the stuff that I wanted to get. I was like, just put it back, no big deal. I don't need the foam anyway because I have some. But it would have been nice to get a pack of foam for 97 cents versus $1.72 and or $1.25 from the Dollar Tree, right? So yesterday I go to the Walmart, looking for the umbrella still at a different Walmart. And I usually peruse the clearance section. They have 2 things in the clearance section. They have some holiday napkins and they have a Valentine's Day book. And I was like, oh, that'd be really good. We can make a junk jar, always thinking about destroying the things that I found on clearance and making other stuff with. So we're going to use this yellow one now. I think that would be really good considering we have yellow right here. And we're just going to do the opposite direction. So I tell her, I said, I didn't see a price checker here. I just want you to scan, excuse me, um, just let me know the price before you ring it up. And so the napkins were like $3, a crazy price for me. I'm cheap. It's like $3. I said, oh no, I don't want that. And the book was 47 cents. I said, yes, I'll take that. I said, I can't, and I tell her, I said, I can't trust the app anymore. So I said, they don't have you guys don't have any price checkers machines. Or she said, yes, they want you to download and use the app. The same thing the other lady told me. I said, well, I don't know about that because the last time I used the app, the price didn't match. And this lady comes out of her face and tells me, oh, well, sometimes they don't honor the price because it's not a Walmart product. And I said, excuse me? Because I want to get this clear so when I come back and tell y'all the story that you hear the nonsense that goes on in my life at the Walmart that I shop at. She says, yes, sometimes the stuff we sell in the store is not Walmart product. And so we can't honor the prices that the app says the price is for. And I say, well, why don't you keep the price scanner in the store and let us use that one versus the app? Because I would think that you would honor the price that it says. She says, no, we can't honor the price from the app because sometimes it's not Walmart product. And she looks at me like, are you not understanding English? And I was like, I understand what you're saying. It just makes no sense. So she goes again and tries to re explain. I said, no, I get what you're saying. Because, at that point, I think she's thinking that I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. Your statement is dumb. That whole thing about not honoring the price, but you want me to go online and buy it, is not a very smart statement. In my opinion, in my humble don't work at Walmart, don't go through the bullcrap opinion, I think it's dumb. And so I say, I say, I always try to be very cordial with these people because they do have a hard job dealing with, anyone that works in customer service has a really hard job dealing with people like me that's questioning why your app, you want me to use the app, but then you won't use the price. You won't keep the price. And then you have people that's completely irate. And if I had been, the stereotypical crazy customer, I probably would have got the things for the thing. Now we're probably saying it's not that much money, but I had five of them. And at 97 cents, that's just $5. But at $1.72, it's more than $5. So I was like, okay, that was the other day. And then so I was like, oh yeah, sure. I told her, I said, I understand what you're saying. Again, it just makes no sense. And at this point I was like done with the conversation. She tried to explain it to me again. I said, I still understand what you're saying. I just don't think it makes any sense because it's your store application you're telling me to use. So anyway, yeah, that was an ordeal at the the Walmart. I wouldn't say it was a fiasco. It was just like this is dumb. And I do agree that they're getting rid of their people. My problem is you would think that the people that worked at the Walmart would want to fight to not have so many electronic people taking over their job, right? Like self checkout. I don't use self checkout unless there's no one there to check me out. I will wait in line the 20 minutes that it takes or the hour or however long it takes. This says does it say document? Cumin. We won't do this one. So we're not gardening. Um, I, I don't know. I was just like, lady, no, nothing. You're right. Nothing in Wily World makes sense, and it's supposed to be an amusement park, right? But I was just gonna say that nothing she could have tried to convince me would have made sense to me. Why you want me to use the app, but you won't honor the price of the app? Price? What? Yeah, I don't. My husband had showed me this TikTok. I think I told y'all this last time. It was this, of course, people are being funny, but this guy had called Walmart and he was like, "Yeah, I'm calling to figure out about my W-2." And the manager, whoever he was talking to, he was like, what's your name? And he told him his name. And he was like, I don't have you on the roster. He was like, and the guy was like, the manager of the Walmart on TikTok was like, well, where do you work? He said, yeah, I'll be doing the self checkout. And the manager was like, man, and he hung up on him. I was like, that's true. You don't get a discount at self checkout. You don't get anything, and they want you to use it. No, 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 no. I don't. Mm-mm. The lady walked up to me. She's like, "Would you like to do self checkout?" I was like, "No, thank you. I'm not getting paid to do self checkout. You don't give me a coupon or nothing." You know what? None of the cashiers chat with me except for like two of them. The other ones scan, 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 26.35 or whatever, whatever the price is. They don't chat with me. So you're lucky, Heather. I guess no love. And I'm okay with that because I'm a chatty person, as you all know. Yeah, I don't do self checkout. I don't. Mm-mm. It can be 50 people in line and I can have one item. If I'm with the big roommate, he's like, "Come on, let's do checkout." I say, "You can ring up. I'm not working. I'm off. I'm not working here." All right, so these are the tags we just made. Very simple little tags. I do have a stamp with lines on it if I wanted to do that. But I also think that you could take these and put little pictures here. Yeah, I do like, how's your day going? Oh yeah, I saw that because sometimes when I go up there, they'll have, like for my son, I usually try to get his little pants for $3 or $4 when they have clearance because he's growing so fast. Um, And they'll be like, "Oh, where'd you get this from?" I was like, I'll tell them where I got it from. I was like, "You better hurry," because I would say, and I would say, I didn't buy it all. Like if they ask me where I got something from because they are interested in, it, I'm like, I didn't buy them all. And they just start laughing. All right, where is our situation at? Right here. We're gonna put these in our little bag. Come on, yeah. But sometimes they don't want to talk to me, and I've realized that maybe I'm just not pleasing to the eyes, or they don't like me for whatever reason. I try not to get too caught up in the nonsense of rude customer service. I just don't give them my money anymore. I don't go there. So this has a scent on it. It smells like a rose. I don't like scented stickers because they usually end up smelling like poop over time, in my opinion. Oh, you must have one of those tell me your life story faces. Like I need to know all your secrets. I don't have that look. And plus, they probably don't want to talk to me because I have on a mask. They're probably like, you can't go and get vaccinated. What's your problem? Oh my goodness, I find that funny. Even if I was fully vaccinated, I would still wear the mask. That's just my personal preference because people are gross. People sneeze, they don't cover their mouths, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so we have these cute little stickers that smell like roses, and we're going to put them in here if we can. And the answer is no. So we're going to make a pocket real quick. I'll show you all the pocket that we're going to make. Oh, yeah. If you buy something they want to know where you got it from. Be like, oh, where'd you get that from? So we're going to take, and we're going to do this. We're going to end very soon, but we're going to come back. I guess we won't finish this until next week. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. So I'm gonna take this. Now remember I showed you those dies. You can definitely make those dies into certain things. We're gonna cut this down. Yeah, they don't. Some of them, when my son is with me, it's different. They're like, "Oh, how you doing?" But my son will make you talk though. He'll be like, "Hello, how you hi." He's just very friendly, and so usually most people will respond to him, and then if they don't, I have to say something. Ooh, I try not to, because like one day we were at Joanne Fabric, and it's there's one lady that I don't think she likes me or my skin because my friend who has the same skin as me has issues with this same lady. So I don't know. But anyway, he spoke to her and she didn't speak back. And he was like, "Mommy, why didn't she speak to me or whatever?" Because how do you explain that people are they have a problem with your skin tone if that's the issue? I said, "Oh, I don't know why Miss Samara didn't speak to you. She's having a bad day today, I guess. It's okay. Not everybody has a good day, and not everybody will speak to you." And she kind of looked at me like, "Ooh, you see what I'm doing, huh? Fussy cutting." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know he was talking to me." That's usually the 100% response I get when people don't speak back to my son. And I was like, "No, he was. He definitely said hello to you because he already saw me today, so he's not saying hello to me." Oh, your oldest is chatty. Yeah, my son does not know the word be quiet. Like when in the morning in the car, he's like, I'm like, "Son, let's just chill. Let's have a quiet drive to school." Mommy, what? Like he's in a superheroes, right? So he's like, this morning he asked me, I'm like, "Brush your teeth, wash your face, put on your uniform." "Mommy, yes, son. Can ants fly?" And I thought about it at first. Like, no, ants can't fly. So yeah, ants can fly. And I said, "But Ant-Man isn't real." He was like, "If he was real, he could blah 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 blah." I said, "Son, superheroes are not real." Oh yes, definitely, definitely you, ma'am, definitely. So the reason why, if you're wondering why I'm cutting this out, is because I just want it to be a little spot with a tuck spot, not a huge area for the tuck spot. Because it is on our cover, not inside the journal. And since it's on the cover, we're going to just have it a little bit. Yes, I said it. I said it. I said it. All right, so we got that. Now we're just going to apply a little bit of glue to this part and this part, because we're going to put it right here. And I don't know, what do you call these, a tuck spot or a pocket? All right, have a great day. I hope you feel better. And thank you for stopping in. I'm going to leave this part open just because. Thank you so much, Kelly. Have a good day. All right. So we got this going on like that. I'm just going to rub this in with my hand. And now, I think maybe our tags will fit in here too. Yep. So what we're going to do is let this dry. We don't want to pop up this thing, but our tags will fit in this little pocket that we created, which is good. And you see it's all white and clean. I prefer journals to be not dirty looking, but I did ink up some edges, so we will continue with the inky edges. And there we go. I'm going to put this in later. And that is our cover for our front page. So before we go, are there any questions, any suggestions, anything you want to see us do on Friday that you may have thought I was going to do today and I didn't do it today? Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing with the boys lately, but my son, I'm like, "Be quiet, shush, mommy, be quiet, son, shush." I'm like, "Boy, be quiet." Thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate it. I wish I could just leave this like this for Friday, but I can't. I have I got a, a video I need to make. Two actually. Oh, this is my son. Hi, what's your name? What's your favorite color? Where your kids at? Yeah, these kids. I don't know. So, if there are no inquiries, we're going to bring this to a close because I have to go do laundry now. I do love these. I really like this. I do want to say if you go ahead and die cut your stuff out. I know none of you are crafting with me right now, but this is really pretty. You don't have to do any like coloring. It's on a double-sided sheet of paper, and it works so well like that. I do want to do some more decorating of our situations, but I also want to go ahead and I don't know. I want to do a lot of stuff. But I do appreciate you hanging out with me, give me your time, sharing some laughs and memories. I hope that this has motivated you to start that 9-year journal, Heather. If not, maybe Friday we can get you. All right, y'all. I hope you have a great day. I need to send you a message tomorrow, so I'll try again and do that. I want to say thank you for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.